Hello, you math geniuses. Are you ready to get going on math again today? Hey, we're going to do some practice with factors and multiples like you saw in Mr. Walker's video. So before we get into the practice for the homework that you'll be doing, I just wanted to have you look at a couple charts with me. So this is skip counting by twos. So you know how to do that. You probably did it in kindergarten, didn't you? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, and so on. So this is skip counting by twos. Now notice that it's all the even numbers that are what? They're multiples of 2. If you started with 2 and you went 2 more, 2 times 2 would be 4. 2 times 3 would be 6. 2 times 4 would be 8. So every number in yellow is a multiple of 2. Like Mr. Walker showed you in his video, the numbers get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. This chart goes all the way to 100. 2 times 50 would be 100. So these are multiples of 2. And your homework today is going to be something like this. It might say something like, starting with 54, what are the next 3 multiples of 2? Well, if you start with 54, the next 3 would be 56, 58, and 60. So that's the kind of thing your homework's going to be asking you today. But not just on 2s. We could practice skip counting by 3s. Then it would be like 3, 6, 9, 12. And this is just showing the multiples of 3, like the monster there in the video that get bigger the more you multiply. This one goes all the way to 99. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 6 is 18, and so on. So every number in yellow is a multiple of 3. In today's homework, again, it's going to ask you questions like this. Starting at 54, what are the next 3 multiples of 3? Well, you would have to you could count by 3, couldn't you? You could add 54, 55, 56, 57 would be 1. Then 1, 2, 3, 60 would be 1. You can just count up by 3 would be a way to do it. So next 3 multiples of 54, okay, 54, 56, 57, I can't count. 54, 55, 56, 57, there's 1, 57, 58, 59, 60, there's 1, 61, 62, 63, there's the next one. So 57, 60, and 63. Basically, it's skip counting is what it's going to be asking you to do today. Here's the multiples of 4. Skip counting by 4. 4, 8, 12, 16. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 5 is 20, and so on. Multiples get bigger the higher you multiply. So every number in yellow is a multiple of 4. So today's homework. What's the next 4 multiples of 4, starting with 64? Okay, add 4. 64 plus 4 is 68. 68 plus 4 more would be 72. 72 plus 4 more would be 76. And 76 plus 4 more would be 80. So you can count up, you can add the number that you're skip counting by, however you want to do it, to get those next 3 or 4 multiples that it's going to ask for. Skip counting by 5 is easy, isn't it? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and so on. So all the multiples of 5 on this number chart, they line up in 2 columns. And all the multiples of 5, obviously, in the ones place, have a 5 or a 0. So, easy today. Homework, we'll say something like, what's the next 4 multiples of 5 starting at 55? So, it'd be 55 plus 5, 60, 65, 70, 75. Pretty simple. We can look at skip counting by 6 to show the multiples of 6. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 4 is 24. So all of these are multiples of 6. And going back to today's homework, you could say, starting at 42, what are the next 2 multiples of 6? So 42 and 6 more is 48. And then 6 more is 54. So 48 and 54 would be the answer. Skip counting by tens is easy, isn't it? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, all the way to 100. Obviously, the ones place of all the multiples of 10 have a 0 in them. Okay. I want you to take a look at the next slide now, and I'll do some practice problems with you for your homework.